Hello there, vinyl community. This is Daniel. I'm back here with another update. My first one in 2020, actually, which is kind of weird. I've been really busy. I really apologize for almost 4 months of no output. I've been just really busy with work, busy recording, getting stuff done with my group and everything, so my apologies on that, but I do have some killer records to show you guys to make up for it. So I'm just going to go ahead and start and see if I could just get this video done in one go. So this is a US stereo first pressing of the first Bohemian Vendetta album from 1968. The cover on it is in the shrink in an absolutely phenomenal condition. The disc is probably like good to good plus. It plays through just fine, but visually it's a pretty ugly disc. I got these in like a big trade that I did with some of my friends going back a few months now, so you know, I was really stoked to get this because it's been really high up on my want list for the psych stuff, and it's one of the rarest albums Mainstream Records put out, so I'm absolutely blown away to have that. Let me put that down here. Also got this original Prestige pressing in mono of Relaxin' with the Miles Davis Quintets. The cover on it is in gorgeous condition, gorgeous. The spine on it is just gorgeous as well. And the disc is right around the same condition. Maybe it's a little better, so I'd say it's probably around good plus, maybe lower end VG. It plays great though, and it's a fantastic record. Just any of the Miles Davis stuff on Prestige, cookin', steamin', relaxin', workin', all that stuff's fantastic. So, you know, really glad to get that. That was the first original Prestige record I owned, and then no sooner than I get that, I got this original Prestige copy of Party Time by Arnett Cobb. Also in fantastic condition. Has the original inner sleeve as well, which you never see those original Prestige inner sleeves, so that was pretty cool. And this one is right around the same condition for the disc, like good plus. Sounds just fine though. You know, it's not too bad, but you know, it plays through fine, so can't really complain. It's an original Prestige. And over here now, this is a US first pressing of Lennie Tristano's debut album from '55. Very controversial jazz album when it came out, with the laminated cover, and it's in fantastic condition as well. This has a beautiful condition disc on it. This came out on Atlantic, and it's that original black and silver label, and you gotta love it. Absolutely love one of my favorite Atlantic style labels, aside from that blue and green label they used for the stereo records in the 60s, so really great condition on that one. I also got this original Blue Note 10-inch from the early 50s. I forgot exactly what year it came out, but it's Sidney Bechet, Giant of Jazz with the Blue Note Jasmine. This is a 10-inch record. It's not in the greatest of condition, but it's still really nice to have because you just never really see the Blue Note 10 inches. It has some wear to the label, but I could live with it, you know. It plays just fine, and, you know, it's not like any, like, boppy or cool sort of jazz. It's more foxtrot than anything, so not something I'm going to listen to terribly often, but still really cool to have. This is an upgrade for me. I upgraded my copy of White Light, White Heat by the Velvet Underground. This is still a first pressing, so here's the cover on it in pretty good condition. Not a lot of ring wear. Looks really nice. And it has the original Verve inner sleeve. And the disc is in gorgeous condition on this one, man. Absolutely gorgeous condition, but, you know, it's hard to find these in nice condition, shockingly, considering how many people, like, weren't really big into the Velvet Underground back then. You know, it's they weren't really commercially successful, so of course you'd expect to find them in nice condition, but for whatever reason, you never really find them in nice condition. They're always trash, but then again, look at the music scene they were in, so just really nice to have that. I also, I'm not sure if this is technically like an upgrade, but it's cool to have it. It's an original promo copy of 666 by Aphrodite's Child. This is on the Swirl Vertigo label, US first pressing, and it's a promo copy. It's not denoted on the labels at all, but it has this little leaflet here that you can read talking about their promotion ideas and all that, so I'm pretty sure this is a promo copy that's just unmarked. And the discs on this are in beautiful condition. Here is the first disc, again, the Swirl Vertigo label, and they're in fantastic condition. And here's the second disc on it. Gorgeous and what a fantastic record this is. One of my favorite psych prog albums of all time. Definitely a stepping stone for the genre, you know. Also upgraded this, which this is a really lovely UK first mono pressing of A Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. Copy I had before this was really beat, so it's really hard to find these in beautiful condition. No writing, no damage to the flaps, really just some light creasing, but you know, that's to be expected. Has the original inner sleeve, and the disc on this is in lovely condition. VG Plus, excellent, you know, just fantastic condition. Really glad to have this one in such nice condition now. You never see this record in really all too great a condition. People played the hell out of this thing. This one is my most recent record purchase, and I got this a few days ago from the store I work at. This is a German first pressing of The Move's debut album from '68. What a fantastic record this is. The cover is in really solid condition, no splits or anything. Has the original inner sleeve with a little date on it. And the disc on this, I don't use the term mint very often, but this disc is mint. Like, it's almost like I'm the first person who ever played it, honestly. It's in such beautiful, fantastic condition, and I'm really glad to have it for such a fantastic record. I also got this, and I shockingly haven't had a copy of this aside from on 8-track, and this one's in the shrink in really nice condition. Little Games by the Yardbirds, stereo first pressing in the shrink. Just gorgeous condition, so really stoked to have this, and the disc is in beautiful condition as well. Not their best record by any means. Like, I see why it's collectible, because, oh, it has Jimmy Page on it, and it's their, you know, probably one of their more experimental sort of albums. But, I still don't think that it's better than Roger the Engineer, but nonetheless, it's a good record. So now we'll move on to I got these next two at a record store I never go to that's in Sanford, and I got these at such a great price. I can't wait to show these. This is a UK first pressing of Electronic Sound by George Harrison, and the cover is just gorgeous on it. Absolutely gorgeous. Original first pressing with the sold in UK text. Has the original inner sleeve as well, and the disc on this is just absolutely stunning. UK first pressing. I don't like to talk prices too much, but I got this for like 30 bucks. So, you know, really stoked to have it in such nice condition, because I never see the original UK copies of this album all too cheap. So, you know, I kind of looked at it at first like, what could be wrong with it? But there's nothing wrong with it. It's fantastic. And I also got this, another British one from the same store. This is the UK first pressing of First Base by Babe Ruth. Fantastic prog album. They do a killer version of King Kong by Zappa on here, and of course the Mexican and Wells Fargo. Everyone knows those tunes. Has the insert as well. It's just one-sided. And this is, like I said, UK first pressing on Harvest, which has the original Harvest inner sleeve, which I never see these. So really cool to have a Harvest inner sleeve with this for the original, and disc on it is gorgeous, of course. Fantastic condition. I couldn't be happier finding this. I've been wanting this record for such a long time, and I never really come across it. And here's a weird little tidbit about the record. There's a spine printed on it on every single seam. I'm not sure how well it's going to come through on the camera, but there's a spine printed right there, spine printed right there, and then at the bottom, there's a spine printed right there. I don't know why they did it, but it's pretty interesting. This one I got on Discogs, and I got this towards the end of December, beginning of January this year and last year, if that makes any sense. And I got this on Discogs, kind of like as a present to myself. And I kind of got screwed over on it, but not necessarily. It's a 2-record set, and the guy only sent it with 1 disc, so when I complained to him, he gave me a full refund, including shipping. So I just have it for free now. But I guess it's still pretty cool to have. It's just the second disc, the improvisation disc, to Yeti by Amandul. This is an original German pressing, so, you know, as soon as I find just the disc one, or, you know, a nicer one, then I'll upgrade. But this is what I've been wanting for a long time, and when I got it, I was almost in tears, man. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And here's the disc. It has some scuffs on it, but it plays through just fine, and it's a fantastic improvisation. I just wish it was the main studio record, but you can't win them all on these sorts of things, so, you know. take what you get while you can, and it was free, so... Oh, well. I'll just find another one. This one I got in a trade recently as well, and I'm just blown away to have this because it's in beautiful condition. This is an original UK first pressing of Paranoid by Black Sabbath on the Black Vertigo... Well, Black the Swirl Vertigo label, excuse me. The cover's in fantastic condition, barely any ring wear, which you generally see this cover with a lot of ring wear. And it doesn't have the original swirl inner sleeve, but it's the original swirl labels. And the weird thing about this is that it's kind of a mispress, too. So generally, the swirl's side 1, and this is side 2, but it's reversed on this. This is side 1, and this is side 2. So, pretty interesting little thing there. And for a fantastic record, sounds great. And I'm just really glad to have a nice British Vertigo pressing, you know? Not like these pop up every single day, so... What else we got here? Oh, man. When I found this, I was so thrilled, man, because I've been looking for this for years. This is an original U.S. first pressing of The Gilded Palace of Sin by the Flying Burrito Brothers from 1969. I absolutely love this record, man. I absolutely love it. If you haven't heard it, please give it a spin. It has the original A&M inner sleeve. And the disc on it's very nice as well. And I got this at a fantastic price compared to what I normally see these puppies go for, so... really stoked to have a copy of this. It's one of those records that ever since I got it, I've been playing it like every other day. What a fantastic record that is. Chris Hillman and Graham Parsons from the Byrds are on that one. This is an original mono first pressing of Clear Light's debut and only record. It's a stereo cover that's just stickered for mono on the front, so... It has the original inner sleeve, too, which I never see these with the original inner. Every time I see it in person, just has that, just has like a generic Electra inner, but it has the original custom inner, and the disc on it is in fantastic condition. Of course, the black and gold label. Really nice condition on this one, and classic Psych album, and it's not all too hard of an album to find. It's one of those great Psych records that you could actually find for an affordable price, like, all the time, so nice to have that one. Another one that I have been wanting for years, and I found this right before my Amon Duel came. I got this as like another present to myself, and since Amon Duel came screwed up, this was essentially my present to myself. So this is U.S. first pressing of Pacific Ocean Blue by Dennis Wilson. Absolutely love this record. Absolutely love it. This is, in my opinion, better than anything the Beach Boys did in the 70s, aside from Sunflower. Forgive me, Beach Boys fanatics like myself, but I just absolutely hold this record in high regard. Has the original inner sleeve. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be printed sideways or not. And the disc on it is just gorgeous condition. VG Plus, excellent. Fantastic listen. Fantastic record. And I would just go on a whim and say it's one of the best records that come out of the 70s. Definitely under the radar in a lot of groups. So, really nice to have that. This is an original copy. Promo copy, actually white label, of the first Jesse Ed Davis album from, I think, 1970. Fantastic condition disc, but the cover has seen better days, has a lot of writing on it. And not much you can do about that, though. Has the original inner sleeve, and since it's a white label promo, I might as well take it out and show you this white label. Great record. If you haven't given this a spin, this is another one that's just under the radar, man, for whatever reason. It's just, you never really see it, so... if you guys see this record, it's at a good price, get it. You will not regret it. Fantastic record. I got some German records here. This is a German first pressing of Mass in F minor by the Electric Prunes from '68. Really nice condition on this one. Fantastic. Really solid overall. Has the original inner sleeve as well. Just one of those, German die-cut ones with, I think it's like rice paper or something like that. And this one's actually on a tricolor label, so I'm pretty sure the US ones only came on that two-tone reprise, so that might be unique just to the German release to be on that tritone label. This is another German one that I got. This is a German first pressing of Younger Than Yesterday by the Byrds, and it's in really nice condition as well. Well, the cover is, I should say. The disc is probably VG, but the lower end of VG. Has the original inner sleeve as well. And it's on the orange or red, whatever you want to call it, CBS label. And it's like VG. It's not too bad, but I got it for a few bucks, so can't really complain. Just glad to have it. I had a copy of this a while ago, but I gave it in VCLT, so nice to have a copy of it back, be able to listen to. This is a new record I got that was a Record Store Day release. This is the reissue of Talk Talk by the Music Machine, or Turn On the Music Machine, from the same company at the Psychotic Reaction reissue, and they're both fantastic quality. If you've been on the fence about getting these, don't be on the fence about it. You'll be happy. Just pull the trigger on it and get them if you're debating on getting these. They sound way better than the originals ever would. The mastering on them's fantastic, and they just sound great. Compared to the originals, at least. The originals, they weren't cut really the best way. They just kind of did it quick and cheap and rush released it. So, cool for that one. This right here is an original mono first pressing of the Doors debut album. I've always had, at least a bunch of copies of this, but this one is in mono. And has the original inner sleeve as well. And the disc is probably around good plus. It plays just fine, but, visually it's got some marks and scuffs you could see. So, that's why I got this for something pretty cheap in a trade. So, can't really complain. It's just nice to have the original mono pressing. And following up with some more Doors in mono, this is an upgrade for me for a mono copy of Strange Days, which is one of my favorite Doors albums. The cover on this is in fantastic condition. Has the original inner sleeve, which I never see this with the original inner sleeve as well, just like with that, which one was I talking about? The Clear Light. And this one, the disc on it is in gorgeous condition. Again, original mono first pressing on the black and gold label, and the protective inner sleeve that I have for this just fell, so pardon me while I pick that up. There we go. And now I get to put this up and show you guys some more records. You're not seeing double. This is a Canadian stereo first pressing of Strange Days by the Doors. The cover, instead of being on cardstock, is like actual cardboard, and it has a paste-on back cover, and just some minor differences, like the catalog number on the top right on the front and back. Also has the original Electra inner sleeve. And this one, the label's kind of interesting on it. The disc is in great condition, though. There's no Doors logo on there, and it's on a gold and black text, so pretty interesting to have. It's the Canadian first pressing, different label, so figured it was also part of a trade that I'd get this just to have a different variant of it. This is an upgrade for me right here. This is Waiting for the Sun. This is in really nice condition. My other one was kind of worn, but this one is in really solid condition, and very glad to have a nice copy of it. Because this actually is my favorite Doors album, Waiting for the Sun. Let me get the disc out real quick, because the disc is in beautiful condition as well. Has the original Electra inner sleeve again, and the disc is in gorgeous condition on that darker mustard colored label rather than the actual gold one. So still really, really cool to have for my favorite Doors album in solid condition. So glad to have this, and let me put this away very carefully. You guys know how Unipacks are. They're just a breeze to deal with. They're a lot of fun. This is right here an original copy of Led Zeppelin 3, and this is going to blow your mind. It was never riveted in, I think. So the wheel just spins out, just takes out. So how many times you get to actually see the full wheel? Pretty cool. And this is, I never actually had a first press of this, believe it or not. I've only had a early Record Club copy of it. So this is the first pressing of this that I have. Has the original inner sleeve, and it's in fantastic condition for my second favorite Led Zeppelin album. So, glad to have this. Ooh. Right here. This is a pretty cool one that I got for $5. It's a, not white label, but it's just a regular promo copy of Santana's debut album, and I love this record, so when I saw it and I had the timing strip, I just knew I had to get it. So it has the original inner sleeve. And like I said, it's just that red Columbia label, not white label or anything, with a VG to VG plus disc, It's pretty solid. It plays great. And now I'm going to be doing two records from the 50s. So we're going to be doing a little throwback here. And this is the first album by Buddy Holly and the Crickets fantastic record, and I was just really stoked to get this. Really decent condition cover. I had to glue the seams on it when I got it, but it's the textured cover original. So that's nice. And let me take out the disc now. Here's the disc right here. It has a big scratch right there that it takes on, but other than that, really no other issues. So pretty nice to have this, and I know it's one of those albums that's like going up there. I've never been able to find it for a decent price before, and I got this for a nice price, so, you know, of course I snagged it up. This is another 50s one. This is Chuck Berry Is on Top. I got this from a dollar bin. The cover has a little bit of water damage, but nothing too severe. Spine is beautiful on it, and this is a first pressing. Even has the weird rice paper inner sleeve, or wax paper. And the disc actually isn't too bad on it for dollar bin. It's the original black chest label, so can't really complain. It's a pretty nice condition, plays through nice, and classic record if you want to hear the original versions of some of Chuck Berry's best songs on here. Ooh, there we go. This is another one I got in a trade. So that psych band, the United States of America, after they broke up, their leader, Joe Bird, formed Joe Bird and the Field Hippies. They did one album, and that's the American Metaphysical Circus. This is pretty much a continuation of that USA album. Although I will say USA is like 100 times better. This record is still fantastic. You know, it's one of those records where you put it on, you can't just listen to like a track off of it if you want. You gotta listen to the whole thing, man. Really great out there sort of stuff. You know, You Can Never Come Down is fantastic with the weird panning of the vocals and the out of sync lady repeating waiting to die. Really cool stuff. This right here is a US stereo first pressing of Axis Bold as Love by Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix Experience. I've always had like a 1970 repress of this, but I hadn't had an original, so I decided to get this one in a trade. Has the original inner sleeve as well. And the disc is like good plus. It plays through just fine, but it's got like scuffs and scratching on it. But it is the tricolor label original, which you never really see the tricolor ones. I'll always see them on a two-tone or just that early 70s one where it's just the orange label. So really stoked to have a first pressing of this, and I'll have the nicer copy for the play copy. This right here is an upgrade for me as well. This is a US copy, not a first press, but an early copy of Mr. Fantasy by Traffic with the different track listing, and this one's in pretty nice condition. So got this in a trade as well with the original inner sleeve, and the disc is in gorgeous condition. And I've always loved Traffic's debut album, one of my favorite, you know, UK psych experimental albums to come out in the later end of the 60s. Just pure genius, man, pure genius. But the UK track listing, the US one is still decent, but it's not anywhere as good as the UK one. This right here is a 70s copy of Sweetheart of the Rodeo by the Byrds. Pretty decent condition cover. The disc itself is actually really nice, like near mint almost. So really nice. It plays through nice, and I have never been able to find a first pressing of this for whatever reason. So this will hold me off just fine until I find my, you know, first press one day in the shrink, and hopefully I do. This is an upgrade for me as well. This is an original US copy of Black Sabbath Master of Reality. No misprint on the label. It's just Master of Reality, not Masters. Has the original inner sleeve. And the disc on it's like good plus to VG, but it plays through just fine. So glad to have a nicer copy of this, because my other one, the cover was the main thing that was bad. The cover was trashed on that one, like completely trashed. I also got this upgrade. This is a US first pressing in the shrink of The Crazy World of Arthur Brown's first and only album from the time. Really fantastic condition on it. Looks like it was just opened yesterday. Has the original black inner sleeve. And the disc on it is gorgeous on the Track Records label. Black and silver label. I love the way the label looks on it. So glad to have this. I'd never see this one in all too of great condition, so finding it in the shrink just it made my day for a classic. I've been listening to this one a lot as well. Right here we got another Talking Heads record from my collection, Speaking in Tongues first pressing. And this is a fantastic record as well. I've yet to hear a Talking Heads record I don't like aside from Naked. Naked I don't like. But this album is fantastic. Really fantastic. Making Flippy Floppy, Burning Down the House, Naive Melody. Just a fantastic record, you know. I could go on for days about speaking in tongues. But then I'll sound like I'm speaking in tongues. This is a comp that I got recently. It's a Nuggets comp, Pop Volume 4. And great compilation on this. You got like the Merry-Go-Round, the Outsiders, Royal Guardsmen, Teddy and the Pandas, the Knickerbockers, the Chartbusters, the Yellow Balloon. Just a great comp all around. And I got this for really cheap too. And it's in like VG condition. Just has some scuffs on it, but not too bad. Plays through just fine. And a lot of these singles are kind of hard to find, so being able to have them all on an LP to where I could just listen to them is pretty great. This isn't a first press. I got it in a trade, but you know, it's just still cool to have. This is the first album by Yes. And what a fantastic record this is. I want to try to search out and get a UK copy of this. This is the inner sleeve it has, which is quite a bit crinkled. And it has that Warner Brother logo at the bottom left, so not the first press, but it's still really clean, still plays really nice, so it'll hold me off just fine. No insert on this. I also saw that it had an insert when it came out. This one's going to be hard to show, but I'm willing to do it. So, this is an original copy of Alone Together by Dave Mason, and you know where I'm going at with this, because there's one huge reason that people always get this record, aside from the cool cover that you hang up from your wall, and it even has a little hole right there so that you can, or at least a perforation for a hole. It doesn't actually have a hole in it. Mine's never been hung up. And since you waited this long, here's the disc on it. And yeah, all these first pressings had that cool marbled disc, and I've been wanting this for a long time, so finally got a copy. And it feels nice to have one, so great record too, by the way. If you haven't listened to it, Alone Together, I think. Yep. It's a fantastic record. Give it a listen. I also got this great comp by Otis Redding, History of Otis Redding on Volt Records. Fantastic condition on this one. Just has a little bit of rating on the corner, but spine is nice. And the disc on it is also really nice. And again, what a fantastic compilation this is. Just for Otis Redding. I've been looking for some of his actual studio albums because I don't actually have any of his stuff, but you know, this is one of those things that'll definitely have me suffice until I start getting those. It's a great compilation. This is a soundtrack right here. Has 2 hype stickers on it for the Strawberry Statement. Not too rare of a soundtrack, but an interesting one. I've been trying to find a source for the movie to watch it, because just based on the stills, it looks like a interesting movie. It's a 2-record set, and the discs on them are in a really nice condition on MGM. I'm just going to pull out this one for time's sake, because it's almost going on to 30 minutes, and I've just been flying through these records. But trust me, the second disc is there. It's in really nice condition, so let me get that there. And only a few more records left, so this is one I've been wanting for a long time, and finally came across it and got it for free, so blew my mind. For such an album you'd expect to be easy to find. Rainforest by Walter Wanderley, monocopy. It's in the shrink, gorgeous condition, and I'm just glad that I finally have a copy, because I've been looking for this for years now, and I always assumed I would find it in some Goodwill bin, and I still have yet to ever see this at a thrift store, but it came into the record store I work at, so of course I snatched it up. It's a fantastic record. I mean, how can you not love Walter Wanderley? I'm pretty sure we've all heard Summer Samba in an elevator somewhere, and it's catchy, man. It's catchy. Got 2 Herbie Mann records coming up. This is Impressions of the Middle East. Fantastic record as well. I saved this from going into a dollar bin. Cover's in beautiful condition and a really cool cover. Has the original Atlantic inner sleeve, and the disc is like good plus on it, but again, it plays through just fine. None of these are really terrible players. They all play great. So, really nice to have this one. Been building up my Herbie Mann collection. He's a great flutist. Just a great musician. And this is a fantastic live record from Herbie Mann I could recommend. It's New Man at Newport. He covers Miles Davis on here, All Blues. And this is just a fantastic live recording, you know. If you see this at a pretty good price, just pick it up, you know. Trust me on it. Really, really great record, and it's on that fantastic green and blue Atlantic label. Nice to have that. And sorry the random liquid noises. I'm actually doing laundry right now, so you're probably just hearing some laundry going off in there. This one I actually did find at Goodwill, so that's pretty nice. This is the Essential Gene Krupa. Great compilation. Really showcases some of his best tunes, but, you know, not all the tunes on here really showcase his drums that well. Some of them would just seem like, you know, like tunes that would have been in like a Broadway special or something like that, where they just have him keeping regular beat. But there's some great tunes on here. I think there's one where he's having a drum off with Buddy Rich. Fantastic. And it has the original inner sleeve as well, so pretty nice. Also got this Mahavishnu Balls of Fire one for free from a friend who gave it to me, because we were listening to this and I pointed out that it kind of reminded me of like King Crimson, like in the Wake of Poseidon era stuff. He's like, oh, well, I already have a nice copy of it, so you could take this one. And this one's pretty nice as well. It's just the cover's a little more worn, but can't complain for a free record. It's a fantastic record, and I never really gave these guys too much attention until I heard this, and this record blew me away. So if you want some of that King Crimson style stuff, Birds of Fire by Mahavishnu Orchestra. And these are the last two records I'm going to be showing. This is a yellow labeled promo copy of Kikaru by Walter Wanderley. I got this one for $1, and the cover is in pretty bad condition. I had to, you know, fix all the seams on it. It was completely split. And the disc is a solid VG, and it's that yellow promo Verve label. So really cool to have one of these promos in my collection now. And also not a bad record. Not as good as Rainforest, but still a very respectable record. He's a fantastic organ player, so, you know, if that's the kind of stuff you're digging for your jazz, then check that out. And here's the last record. Wow, this has gone on for a while. This is the Ahmad Jamal Trio at the Pershing, But Not For Me. I've gone through so many copies of this, but this is the nicest one that I've gotten so far, and it's just in lovely condition. And the disc on it, if I'm not mistaken, is also very nice on the Black Argo label. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me on this one. I really appreciate it, and I'm probably going to be doing a video like pretty soon after this one, because there's a lot that I just couldn't fit that I have to like wait to show, and that also includes 8 tracks and stuff, so we'll get to those at some point. But I do want to say my thanks to you guys for watching this, and it's kind of delayed, but Happy New Year. So, you guys take care, and thank you. Peace and love.